Madison's police chief says the man behind a brutal attack near the UW-Madison campus had too many second chances before committing that crime.
And the bitter cold returns today. We're seeing single-digit temperatures with wind chills that could get down to the -20s. Your Alert Day forecast is straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Hattie was taking a look at that shoveling video, maybe having a little bit of PTSD from yesterday, right?
Yeah, you need something metal.
Yeah, it's going to be bad out there.
Really, if you didn't get the ice off your sidewalk and driveway, it's not coming off for a few days at least.
Welcome, by the way,
yeah.
to News 3 Now This Morning. But yeah, we've got quite the cold temperatures out there.
It is cold outside this morning. It's also very windy, so wind chill is a factor. It's an alert day due to those wind chills well below zero this morning. We're talking wind chills as low as 25 below early today, only improving to the teens below zero for the afternoon. So bundle up. It's an all the layers kind of day. Wind chill advisories are in effect for our entire viewing area until noon today. Here's a look at the current wind chills this morning. Feels like 18 below in Madison. Feels like 23 below in the Dells. 25 below is the wind chill in Prairie du Chien. Here's a look at our day planner temperatures. We have temps in the single digits above zero this afternoon. But we do have some sunshine. Let's end on a positive note. We will see the sun today. Your first alert traffic maps early this morning, still looking pretty good. All the main roads are in pretty good shape here in Madison and the surrounding areas, but be careful for side streets. They're likely going to be slippery, sidewalks, parking lots. You have it. Whatever was not cleared from the road yesterday is a solid chunk of ice this morning.
Okay, but let's focus on the positives. We have some sun on the way today, and Danica's super excited because sunrise creeping earlier.
Yes, next week the sunrise occurs before 7 o'clock.
Finally, it seems like forever.
Yes,
that's happened.
We're like the mole people. We just work in the dark.
You should see the entire News 3 Now morning team flocks to the window every time the sunrise comes up because we don't see it.
I know. So it'll be nice to see that coming a little bit earlier next week.
Next week. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
6:02 right now, and we do want to remind you this morning to leave extra time before heading to work and school to clear ice from your sidewalks as best you can. By now, whatever is frozen on the pavement might be impossible to scrape off, like Hattie mentioned. If that is the case, you are still required to lay sand down on the pavement. With temperatures not getting out of the single digits today, the salts won't do you much good. You usually have to, or you would usually have to clear the sidewalks by noon today, but the city says they're not going to enforce that ordinance until city sidewalks are taken care of. Those fines, by the way, can be up to $50 for a first offense. The city is offering free sand to residents while supplies last. We have links up for those sand pickup locations and how to report dangerous sidewalk conditions on Channel3000.com. If you're wondering why ordinances like that exist, SSM Health says that they treated 24 falls yesterday alone linked to the weather. Most of those patients went to the Janesville urgent care after slipping. 5 went to the ER in Sun Prairie, and 5 others went to the clinic on Madison's west side.
Janesville is among the many school districts in our area trying to figure out how to make up for lost class time because of the weather we've seen recently. The Janesville Gazette reports they have to make up for 6 missed days at this point. The superintendent there says he plans to meet with staff this morning to try and find a way to make up for those, since the district only had 2 built-in snow days. One option he's considering, moving professional development days to the end of the school year so classes could be held on those unscheduled days instead. Now, you might remember, we told you yesterday the state's Department of Public Instruction will not scale back classroom hours, despite all the closures we've seen. Most students are required to be in class for more than 1,000 hours a year. The Verona School District is working out a plan to make up 18 hours at the high school level. Madison is holding class today, which was originally a staff-only day.
Just in from the Channel 3000 Alert Center, about 40 MG&E customers are without power around Nakoma Road on Madison's west side. We're waiting to hear exactly what caused the outage, but according to the utility's website, it should be fixed anytime now. In Michigan, where you're seeing these images here, almost 150,000 customers could be waking up without electricity due to the freezing rain and ice knocking down power lines. The heaviest concentration of outages is happening within 20 miles of Grand Rapids. The energy company there hasn't posted any estimated restoration times for many areas, saying it's, quote, awaiting investigation results.
6:04 your time now. Police say the man accused of brutally attacking a stranger over the weekend never should have been free to do it in the first place. 22-year-old Jerome Winslow has a history of violent crimes. Madison police say he came up behind a 19-year-old UW student he didn't know, dragged her into an alley, and beat her. That woman is still recovering with some serious injuries to the face this morning, and tests are being conducted to determine if she was sexually assaulted as well. Chief Koval says with Winslow's record, this never should have been able to happen.
This needs confinement. This person has had opportunities. No more. No more.
Chief Koval says city cameras played a major role in Winslow's arrest, as an officer who had had past interactions with him recognized him on that video footage. Now, we took a look at his record. Winslow has 3 felonies since turning 18, one for attacking a police officer, one for attacking his girlfriend, and another for armed robbery. He was given plea deals in all 3 cases and only sentenced to probation, no jail time. We reached out to the district attorney to hear his reasoning, but we didn't hear back.
New this morning, an off-duty security guard in Minneapolis faces attempted murder charges after police say he shot a school bus driver in a fit of road rage. 31-year-old Kenneth Walter Lilly was 2 cars ahead of the bus on the interstate as traffic moved to a crawl in the snow on Wednesday. Traffic camera video shows him getting out of that car, shooting into the bus's windshield and hitting the 78-year-old driver in the arm. That man is recovering at the hospital. The only child on the bus at the time was not hurt. Now, according to a criminal complaint, Lilly's car and the bus had brushed up against one another moments earlier as the bus was merging onto the freeway.
Madison police are reminding you to lock your cars and take extreme caution when you're warming up your vehicles, since thefts are on the rise. In his blog, Police Chief Mike Koval says nearly 60 vehicles were reported stolen last month alone. That's a 21% increase compared to January of last year. Of the 58 stolen, 50 had keys inside of them. 29 were running at the time of the theft. All but 15 of those stolen vehicles have been recovered, but it's a good reminder that crime can happen anywhere, at any time, in any weather.
We continue to follow a prison lockdown in Columbia County this morning. Now inmates and their families are looking for an explanation. There were no visitors allowed at the correctional institution in Portage for 23 days. That lockdown just ended this week. The Department of Corrections now says it was part of a routine search, but inmates and relatives aren't buying it. We spoke with an inmate about what's been going on inside the prison walls.
Although they told you guys we was getting hot meals, it took at least a week before we even got a hot meal. That was only Monday through Friday. And we was asking them, like, what's up with the weekend? They said, well, no hot meals on the weekend. And it was hard to get this information out because we couldn't call home. We were scared to write because they open up our mail before it goes out.
A statement from the Columbia Correctional Institution does not explain why the lockdown lasted so long, but it says the first concern of that facility and the purpose of it is to keep staff, inmates, and visitors safe, and that periodic searches are, quote, essential to that goal.
Meanwhile, youth prisons in Wisconsin are about to get more staff and more money, even though they're supposed to shut down over the next couple of years. Wisconsin Public Radio reports Governor Evers says there will be funding in the next budget for extra staff at the Lincoln Hills Youth Prison. The governor has delayed the closure of that prison, along with Copper Lake, which Governor Walker had planned on closing by 2021. Evers says the construction of new facilities to take their place wasn't considered in the solution for those troubled youth prisons. So in the meantime, he wants to improve conditions for workers there.
It is 6:08 on this Friday morning. We are under a wind chill advisory until noon today because it is cold out there. It could feel like -25, so make sure you and the kids have some extra layers on this morning. Hattie's in next with your Alert Day forecast.
But the cold this time of year does come with a little bit of a perk. It's Girl Scout cookie time. Christina Laurie's live to tell us how the sales are teaching girls important life lessons. That's when News 3 Now this morning continues.
Brr, that's all I have to say from the patio this morning. It is very windy outside and much colder than it has been for a couple of days. Now, we're not talking the polar vortex of last week, but it's still pretty cold. The ground is littered with all these little tiny pieces of the tree behind me that are coated with at least 1/4 of an inch of ice right now. And with that wind, some of those are starting to break off. So we'll have to watch things carefully. Everything is coated in ice across southern Wisconsin. We had a flash freeze yesterday, and I've worked here in southern Wisconsin for almost 20 years and have not heard the National Weather Service use that term before. But what it means is that really it's just a rapid freezing of temperatures going from above freezing to below freezing in just a few hours. And that happened yesterday evening. And when that occurs, any water that's left on the ground quickly freezes. You could get problems with black ice, but really everything, any moisture that's on the ground is solid right now. So if you didn't get your sidewalk or your driveway cleared yesterday, it's not going to happen today. You'll just have to put sand on it because it is cold outside. And we're not going to warm up much. Take a look at our current temperatures. We have dropped below 0 now in Madison. We're at 1 below. 3 below in the Dells, 2 below in Platteville, and 7 below in Viroqua. Now that's only part of the story. An alert day is in the forecast because we have strong winds today. They're from the west-northwest up to 25 miles an hour. It's going to keep those wind chills well below 0 through the day. The National Weather Service has issued a wind chill advisory for the entire area until noon. So you need to have lots of layers today. Wind chills are in the double digits below 0 this morning. We're looking at 18 below here in Madison. Feels like it's almost 25 below in our western viewing area, though. Future track wind speeds are going to be right around 20 miles an hour. And look at this, our engineer Garrett just brought me a hard hat to protect me in case any of those branches fall from that tree that's overhead. So this is a bad day when you need the fur hat and a hard hat. But it is cold outside this morning. Let's take a look at those wind speeds as we go through the rest of the day. They calm down just a little bit, but not much. Still staying around 10 to 15 miles an hour later on this evening. So here's a look at your future track forecast. Clouds this morning are going to be clearing. That's the good news. We have sunshine in the forecast today, but high temperatures only in the single digits above 0, 7 for our high here in Madison. It does turn quite a bit colder tonight. Winds will die down, but temperatures will be down around 10 degrees below 0. Here's a look at your extended forecast. We warm up a little bit through the weekend, which is good news. Focusing in on Sunday, that's where we could see another quick snowstorm with 1 to 3 inches of snow. And got my eyes on Tuesday as well with more potential for accumulating snow across southern Wisconsin. Now let's get a peek at the roads this morning with your News 3 Now First Alert traffic update. Here's Jason Stone.
Good morning. Drivers are safely getting on the Beltline and no incidents to report so far. The most volume coming at the Stoughton and Verona Road exit ramps. Minimal delay on Verona Road. Otherwise, roads are clear for traveling into Madison and around Dane County. And for those heading downtown, expect some delays at the intersections of East Wash. With your First Alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Thank you so much, Jason. And of course, thank you, Hattie. So we do want to make a quick correction to a story we reported yesterday about the search for a new chancellor at UW-Whitewater. We had told you that the school was down to 2 finalists to replace former Chancellor Beverly Copper, but the 2 candidates we mentioned are not actually up for that position. Those finalists are being considered for the Director of Strategic Engagement there. So the Search and Screen Committee for a new chancellor is continuing their search. And of course, we apologize for the misinformation.
All right, 6:16 your time now. Girl Scouts in our area start selling cookies tomorrow. But get this, there are 1 million fewer young women signing up for the Scouts compared to just 15 years ago.
That's a big number. Christina Laurie is live this morning with some of the ladies still earning their badges. She's over at the Badgerland Scouts headquarters this morning. How's it going, Christina?
It's going great out here, Danica and Leah. It's been a while since I've donned the green vest myself. I was a Girl Scout back in the day, but this morning I'm joined by some current Scouts ahead of their big cookie kickoff, which selling season starts tomorrow. Babette, I'm going to start with you. What is your favorite part of being in the Girl Scouts?
I really like being in Girl Scouts because it's a great opportunity to get leadership skills and make friends and learn things that you might not get to do otherwise.
So Annie, to you, what are some of the things that you learn when you're selling cookies? What are some of the skills that you use?
Well, in selling cookies, you learn a lot about goal setting, and my personal goal this year is to sell 75 boxes of cookies. And then it's also a lot about how to interact with people and, tell them about this organization you're a part of, this program that gives you all these skills and this wonderful opportunity that Cookies Fund.
You heard that here. It certainly is fun. So, Lydia, what do you say to people when you're trying to get them to buy a box of cookies? What would you say?
Get a cookie. It's very sweet.
Ooh, that's a good tactic. What about you? What is your cookie selling technique? What if I'm a little skeptical and I've already bought a couple boxes of cookies? How do you convince me?
Would you like to buy a box of cookies and support my troops so we can pay for our memberships and go on fun outings and earn badges?
That's great. That's really important. All of the money goes back to your troops. Can you talk a little bit about that, how you use that money?
Well, we usually use our money to fund things we're doing, such as we're going on a camping trip, my troop, in a couple months, and we're going to use that money to fund access to like the park we're going into and stuff, and also pay for things that we need to complete badges, such as we're doing a car badge, learning how to take care of our cars, and that's going to take some money as we go into a car factory.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. So for just $4 a box, you can help sponsor all those activities, provide leadership opportunities, teach these girls about goal selling, all life skills that they'll carry with them forever. So coming up in just about 30 minutes, we're going to talk to the COO as well about what she's doing to help get more girls involved in Scouts and learn those life lessons. Danica and Leah.
I am totally sold.
Oh, yeah. I was sold before when you said thin bits. That's like the only two words I knew.
Yeah,
but
that's true. All right, Christina, we'll check in with you in a little bit. Thanks so much.
So we are a step closer to cookie selling. Today is Friday, and that's why everything is awesome.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry, at least that's what's stuck in our heads, thanks to our producer, Melissa, that just made me sing that this morning as we preview the sequel to the Lego movie out in theaters today. Will Loper's in with his take coming up.
All right, nobody is singing about this forecast, not even Danica. You're going to want to take it slow on your way to work or school. You might run into some icy spots. We have the Beltline marked as ice covered this morning. Hattie's Alert Day forecast is next on News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. Wind chill advisories are in effect until noon today. You can see everybody included except for the far southeastern corner of the state. Wind chills are running right around 20 to 25 degrees below zero today. So here's a look at your current temperature readings. 1 below here in Madison, 3 below in the Dells, 2 below in Lone Rock, Janesville and Watertown, as well as Juneau are still above zero at this hour. Wind chills, though, in all locations are well below zero. In fact, right around 20 to 25 degrees below in most locations. Here's a look at your bus stop weather forecast. We have temperatures that will climb into the single digits above zero today, so it's going to be very cold through the afternoon, but we will have some sunshine, especially for the second part of the day. Stay warm today.
Thank you, Hattie.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome.
Leah just said not again.
Don't you want to hear that?
I know.
All day, every day. Come on.
Well, now it's stuck in my head. Yeah, all day, every
come
day.
on.
But we have all played with them, built things with them, and of course, stepped on them with our bare feet.
Yep, and this weekend we get to see them on screen with the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Here with a preview is our film critic, Will Loper. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I'll be stuck in my mind for months.
Oh, yeah, all day.
With any luck, though, this movie will entertain enough to wipe away all those painful memories of having a hard piece of plastic pierce our feet. And in fact, the reviews are looking pretty darn good. Take a look.
Good morning.
Hello, cyborgs.
What a morning.
Good morning, sewer babies.
Emmett, you gotta stop pretending everything is awesome. It isn't.
Yeah, I get it. And that's why I've cultivated a totally hard-edged side that's super tough. And look, a shooting star, make a wish.
New invaders come to town, and it's up to Emmett, Lucy, Batman, and more to save the day.
Will you help me rescue my friends?
You don't want to go anywhere near the Star system. It's ruled by an alien queen.
Only the toughest are gonna get out of there alive.
Who's a good boy?
Who's a good boy? Yes, you are.
The Lego Movie 2, the second part, is rated PG.
I'm a queen, whatever I would not be.
I'm getting super evil vibes here.
I could change my form to something else if this makes you uncomfortable. Hey, guys.
No, go back. The horse was much more palatable.
Just the joy of being able to create whatever you want, including a crazy squid scary monster. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's kind of cute.
How are these stacking up so far as the reviews go?
Stacking up. Pun intended.
That's good. Let me tell you.
It's way too early for me to intend that.
It's getting built up pretty highly here.
Nice.
85% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
This ain't not as good as the first one, but still lots of fun, colorful, fast-paced. Just a no-brainer to bring the kids to.
Right.
Good weekend to check that out in the theaters then, huh?
Yeah, and stay warm in there.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Will. Always good to see you.
Yep, thanks, guys.
All right, 6:25 your time. Now, we've got a reminder about taking care of your car in these brutally cold temperatures, even if it doesn't run on gas.
And UW-Madison officials are looking into accountability and safety concerns at the school's fraternities and sororities. The day's top stories are next on News 3 Now this morning.
Get ready to rise and shine and get your arm workout in. Hattie's talking about a forecast that's going to make you want to turn in your shovel for an ice pick straight ahead.
And it looks like lawmakers are working towards some middle ground on how to pay for an income tax cut here in Wisconsin.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and welcome to the final half hour of News 3 Now this morning on this Friday, February 8th. I still have Everything is Awesome in my head from our segment with Will just a second ago, but
everything is awesome.
Everything is not so awesome out on the patio this morning.
No, Hattie has on all of the layers, all of the fur, trying to stay warm. How are you feeling out there, Hads?
Cold. And I put a hard hat on, guys, because the tree behind me is leaning over quite a bit, and you can just hear all the branches clanking together as the wind blows through those ice-coated branches. The ground is littered with little pieces, little parts of that tree, but again, everything in southern Wisconsin is coated in ice. Temperatures are well below freezing this morning, so keep that in mind as you step out the door. Sidewalks and parking lots are probably going to be the worst. Here's a look at your alert day forecast. We're talking wind chills right around 25 degrees below zero this morning. So you don't want to spend a lot of time outside if you don't have to. High temperatures in the single digits above zero today. Wind chill advisories are in effect until noon today for the entire area. Here's a look at our current temperatures. Most of us are starting out below zero this morning, in the single digits below zero. Wind chills are even lower. Here's a look at our temperature trend over the next 12 hours. We're going to see temperatures climb only into the single digits. Winds will stay strong, so wind chill will be a factor as we go through the afternoon. Now, here's a look at your first alert traffic maps. There is exit ramp partially blocked. This is in the belt line right at Verona Road, so be aware of that. Anything that was damp or wet yesterday is now frozen solid this morning, so take it easy on the roads. You might want to plan a little extra time. Temperatures are very cold this morning. Wind speeds are much higher as well. Looks like your drive times, though, heading into Madison is looking pretty normal for this time of the day.
All right, Hattie, shuffle in if you can.
Will do.
All right, be safe. Thanks.
6:31 your time now. With temperatures back in the negative numbers overnight, it's worth a reminder to be kind to your car in this kind of weather. The cold doesn't just affect traditional gas-run vehicles either. AAA warns electric cars could be limited once the temperature drops below 20. According to that agency, the average driving range on a single charge goes down by 41% in those circumstances. That means a greater risk of being stranded with a dead battery.
At the state capitol this morning, State Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says he is open to negotiating with the governor when it comes to income tax cuts. Vos and Governor Tony Evers both want that tax cut, but they aren't agreeing on how to pay for it quite yet. Republicans have proposed using a one-time budget surplus and are expected to debate that proposal in the Assembly on Tuesday. Governor Evers, though, wants a more permanent solution and is proposing limiting a tax credit program for manufacturers. Republicans say there's no need to do that when there's already a surplus available.
Meanwhile, Wisconsin's former governor is getting ready to start his career as a public speaker, and it's paying pretty well. Scott Walker will join the likes of Newt Gingrich to give speeches with a group called Worldwide Speakers Group. His plan is to talk on the current political landscape, crisis management, and the power of faith in those times of crisis. The price tag for those talks, anywhere between $15,000 and $25,000 per appearance.
We want to remind voters that you can now cast in-person absentee ballots at most public libraries throughout Madison. Most early voting locations opened up this past Monday. Polls on the UW-Madison and Edgewood College campuses will open this coming Monday. Now, the spring primary is on February 19th and includes the race for Madison mayor and 3 school board positions here. You will need a valid ID with you to vote. If you're not registered at your current address or at all, you can do that at your polling place with proof of residence. That could be a utility bill, a pay stub, or a lease.
On the UW-Madison campus, officials are launching a review of sorority and fraternity life. The university says a team will look at accountability, diversity and inclusion, members' experiences, and student safety. That team is expected to release a report with recommendations later this summer. UW-Madison currently has 60 frat and sorority chapters made up of 4,500 students. This review comes after the university terminated its Kappa Sigma frat chapter last year when some residents pushed a television set off the chapter's balcony in June and nearly hit a woman you can see in that video. 2 frat members were cited for disorderly conduct in that incident.
We are waiting to hear why the principal at Beloit Memorial High School has been placed on administrative leave. A spokesperson for the school district of Beloit confirms that Principal Orlando Ramos was placed on administrative leave. He is not, however, releasing the reason behind that decision, only to say that it's an administrative issue. Ramos was just hired for that position in July. This is his first year with the school.
A state group that oversees public property is putting money toward finding homeless veterans in Tomah a warm place to stay. A $180,000 grant will go toward renovating 4 new apartments to provide transitional housing and homeless prevention for veterans and their families. The Veterans Assistance Foundation is leading those efforts. There's also nearly $2 million going to the city of Tomah to support small businesses and increase economic development. According to the Department of Veterans Affairs, nearly 80,000 vets are homeless on any given night.
6:35 right now. There is a chance for you to give a well-deserved shout out to your favorite Black-owned business in Madison. We'll tell you how.
And Christina Laurie says if you're feeling guilty about binging on all those Thin Mints, you're actually supporting a really good cause. She'll have a live report on the business skills those Girl Scouts are learning in the process of feeding our sweet tooth. That's when News 3 Now this morning continues. Okay, so here's a little Southwest Wisconsin pride. This picture is out of my hometown of Highland. My friend Matt Gratz sent it to me. This is actually my home church, St. Philip's. It was built in the 1880s. Gorgeous shot of all of the frost covering it and those cold temperatures last week.
Really pretty.
Love it. Thanks so much for sending this to me, Matt. What does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it on our Facebook page or on Twitter, and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning so Danica and I can find and share our favorites right here on the program.
We also want to take a minute to congratulate our friend, Dr. Mandira Mehra from SSM Health. She gave birth to her second child this week. Ruani, welcome to the world, baby girl. Congratulations. We hope you all get some well-deserved rest.
Beautiful baby.
Yeah. All right, if you frequent a business that is run by an African-American here in Madison, there's a chance for those entrepreneurs to get some recognition.
Yep, today is the deadline to submit nominations to the Madison Black Chamber of Commerce. Email info@madisonblackchamber.com with a brief paragraph on why that business should be named best in the city. Then later this month, the chamber will hold an awards event featuring the state's first African-American Lieutenant Governor, Mandela Barnes. Okay, 6:39 your time now. Just this week, the Boy Scouts are starting to accept girls into their troops. And as you can imagine, that's not helping enrollment for the Girl Scouts, which is already down across the country.
That's why sales of SMOAs will be even more important for the organization starting this weekend. Christina Laurie is live at the Badgerland Scouts headquarters. And Christina, how many cookies, be honest, have you snuck and sampled this morning?
I promise I haven't snuck any yet. But no promises after we're done with this show. They make a good breakfast, right? Well, it's a really exciting and empowering time of year for thousands of Girl Scouts across Wisconsin. We have some of them with us this morning, as well as Badgerland COO, Kristen Incity. So, Kristen, they were talking a little bit about how numbers of Girl Scouts have been down. What are you doing to recruit more girls to join the Girl Scouts?
Yeah, thanks. So we do lots of information nights throughout the community. We have a whole bunch coming up in the Dane County area, Stoughton, Verona, Johnson Creek, a whole bunch of different info nights. You can check out our website to see if there's one happening near you. We also do partnerships with lots of different after-school programs. We're building some new relationships in local communities here to reach more girls who want to get involved in Girl Scouting.
And these girls have definitely learned the benefits of everything you can learn when you're part of the Girl Scouts. So, Babette, I want you to show me your vest. On your vest, what is the patch or badge you're most proud of?
So I'm really proud of my Playing the Past badge because my patrol actually helped our troop earn that badge. Like, we did the steps for everyone. Like, we set up the steps and then had everyone go through them. So
you came up with a plan and you accomplished it. What about you, Annie? What are you most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of my Silver Award, which is an award Girl Scouts can get when they are a cadet. And I established with my troopmate a peer-to-peer tutoring program at my school to help fifth graders who weren't getting enough one-on-one attention with teachers to learn about math and other subjects.
That's really impressive. And Lydia, what patch are you most proud of?
The skiing one, because
Here, let's move your hand out of the way.
Because I got it to go tubing is pretty fun.
So it was fun. You learned a new sport. You tried something new. If you also want to try something new, you can sample the new chocolate caramel gluten-free cookie. That's the newest cookie this year. But of course, I don't know if everyone knows, we're standing behind this giant box of Thin Mints. This is the most popular cookie sold here in the Badgerland area. But actually, the most popular cookie sold in the state of Wisconsin is the peanut butter patty. I think those are one of our producers' favorites. So maybe if you're nice, I'll bring some back for you.
That's what I'm talking about right there. You can just grab that huge box of Thin Mints there for me. I think that'll be my year's supply. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate that. And thanks for your reporting this morning.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, 6:42 your time now. The cold is back, and it's not going to make for a fun time trying to clear the ice off your sidewalks. There is free sand available, though, to help you out. You can check out channel3000.com for the details. Hattie does have some good news, though. No more freezing rain or ice in the near future.
Yeah, foreseeable at least. But first, it is February 8th. We want to say happy birthday to Ava, Evan, Jaden, and all the kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. Let's start by looking at snow on the ground. Just a week ago, we had over a foot of snow on the ground here in southern Wisconsin, but a mild weekend dropped that snowpack to 3 to 6 inches, with even some bare ground showing in some spots. The northern part of the state, though, really adding up the snow over the last few days. In fact, anytime you see that purple shaded color, that's over a foot of snow on the ground. So it's been some pretty heavy snow for much of the northern part of the state the last 2 days. For us, we've had more in the way of freezing rain, and here's a look at accumulated precipitation yesterday, over a quarter of an inch, and that was all freezing rain here in Madison. You can see some of the other numbers around the area. Anytime you're talking over a tenth of an inch of freezing rain, it could be problematic. And we had some ice quakes as well being reported. Now that happens anytime that water within the ground starts to freeze, and sometimes it can be water right along the edge of your house, so you'll hear a loud boom sound. And that is just the sound that water makes when it's expanding and freezing. Let's talk about someplace that isn't freezing this morning, though. Go to Alaska for those numbers. Kodiak, 39 degrees. Nome, Alaska, just below the freezing point at 30. 27 in Anchorage. Not bad. Those temperatures are quite mild compared to what we're seeing here in the upper Midwest. We have 1 below in Madison. International Falls is 11 below. Bismarck is at 24 degrees below zero right now. Take a look at temperatures across the southern part of the state, and you'll see a lot of negatives on the map. From Madison and points to the west, numbers are in the single digits below zero. Alert day is in effect today because of wind chills that are in the dangerous territory. Wind chills anywhere from 15 to 25 below. High temperatures today will only climb into the single digits as well, so be aware of that. Here's a look at your future track wind speeds. Winds are about 20 miles an hour from the west-northwest this morning. As we put the map into motion, we're not going to see a lot of change in those wind speeds through the day. Winds will stay around 20 miles an hour from the west-northwest. That means wind chills will stay well below zero through the afternoon. Here's a look at your wind chills over the next 12 hours. You can see double-digit below zero numbers even into this evening. So our extended forecast has temperatures that will moderate just a little bit after we get through those single digits that we have today. We're looking at highs right around 7 degrees, staying very chilly and dropping pretty quickly once again this evening. Here's a look at your extended forecast then. We have temperatures that will be back into the teens tomorrow with some sunshine, and then into the 20s on Sunday, but some accumulating snow coming on Sunday as well. 1 to 3 inches expected across southern Wisconsin. Here's a look at our pet walk forecast.
Oh,
Fonzie.
The Fonz.
The eyebrows.
And the eyes.
Love it. Fonz is going to be curled up. We'll have sun today, so he can curl up in some nice, warm, sunny spot inside.
You know what, Fonz? I'll join you.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
The morning sprint's coming up next right here on News 3 Now this morning. 6:52, time for the morning sprint. Christina Laurie is talking about why Girl Scouts are seeing some declining enrollment right now as they kick off cookie sales this weekend.
But first, you're definitely going to want to bundle up on your Friday. Wind chills are going to make it feel as cold as -25 today. Let's start with that. Hattie?
Wind chills are below zero this morning. Wind chill advisory in effect for the entire area until noon today. Take a look at that wind chill forecast as we go through the morning. Wind chills hovering right around 20 below, only climbing into the teens below zero as we head right into late afternoon and early evening hours. Bundle up today.
All right, thanks so much, Hattie. Madison neighbors, if you cannot scrape the ice off your sidewalks or around your house, you're required to put sand down or risk a $50 fine. You can get sand for free from the city while supplies last. We have pickup locations over on channel3000.com. You would usually need to have sidewalks cleared by noon today, but that will not be enforced until crews can actually take care of city sidewalks.
Janesville is one of several school districts in our area trying to figure out how to make up for lost class time because of all the snow days we've had lately. The Janesville Gazette reports they have had to make up for 6 missed days. The superintendent there says he's thinking about moving professional development days to the end of the school year, so classes could be held on those unscheduled days instead.
This needs confinement. This person has had opportunities. No more. No more.
That is Madison Police Chief Mike Koval voicing his frustration over a man accused of attacking a UW-Madison student over the weekend. 22-year-old Jerome Winslow allegedly dragged that woman into an alley and beat her. According to court records, Winslow had been convicted of 3 felonies, including one for attacking his ex-girlfriend. He was given plea deals in all 3 cases and was only sentenced to probation.
An off-duty security guard in Minneapolis is facing attempted murder charges this morning after police say he shot a school bus driver in a fit of road rage. 31-year-old Kenneth Walter Lilly was caught on camera getting out of his car and shooting into that bus's windshield. He hit the 78-year-old driver in the arm. There was an 8-year-old on the bus, but they weren't hurt. A criminal complaint says Lily's car and the bus had brushed together moments earlier as the bus was merging onto the freeway.
Madison police are reminding all of us to be smart while warming up our cars after nearly 60 vehicles were reported stolen last month. That is a 21% increase compared to January of last year. Of the 58 stolen, 50 had the keys inside and 29 of them were left running at the time of the theft.
The TSA says a record number of guns were taken at airport checkpoints last year, with more than 4,200 found across 250 airports. Most of those guns come from airports along the Sun Belt, from Atlanta to Arizona, in states with looser gun laws. A CBS News investigation found while TSA agents are spotting thousands of guns, police records from 7 airports count at least 3 cases where those guns got through checkpoints back in 2017.
Acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker is expected to testify before the House Judiciary Committee today. He'll specifically talk about his oversight of the special counsel's Russia investigation, that is. As of late yesterday, it was unclear whether he would actually make an appearance. The House Judiciary Committee approved a subpoena along party lines, which will force Whitaker to answer all questions, whether he shows or not.
You'll want to have a few extra bucks on hand if you're heading to a grocery store tomorrow or any time over the next month and a half. Cookie selling season officially kicks off starting tomorrow, Saturday, and local Badgerland Scouts will be stationed outside grocery stores across Dane County from then until mid-March. This year's sale comes amid declining participation in the Girl Scouts. More than 1 million fewer girls are in the organization now than 15 years ago. And just this week, girls were allowed to join the Boy Scouts organization. Still, local troop leaders say their annual cookie selling program teaches business and social skills that they can't learn anyplace else. To find your nearest cookie sale, head to our website, channel3000.com.
It is time to ensure that we are all making sure that diversity and inclusion is present and front and center.
Roll out the red carpet. Alicia Keys hosts the Grammy Awards on Sunday. The 15-time Grammy winner is hosting for the first time. Kendrick Lamar and Drake are the top Grammy contenders. Lady Gaga and Cardi B also have several nominations. You can watch the awards live right here on News 3 Now, Sunday night, starting at 7.
Love Alicia Keys. All right, turning it over now to Jason Stone with one more look at your first alert traffic. Hi, Jason.
Hello. No problems on the Beltline to report with drivers at the posted speed limit right now. A crash has been reported on John Nolan at Blair Street, blocking a lane onto Willie Street. With your first alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Thank you, Jason. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And we will have some sunshine in the forecast today, but it's going to be very cold across southern Wisconsin all day today. Here's a live look from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Partly sunny skies this morning, but again, don't be deceived. Temperatures are below zero. We will climb to highs only at 7, with wind chills staying in the teens below zero through the day.
Ooh, important to bundle up today and take it slow out on the roads for that black ice potential. Make sure you download our First Alert forecast, First Alert traffic and weather app to keep an eye on that weather. Have a good weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.